Right, welcome everyone to the second episode of the Love Island Cast USA. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. Great to be back again.
Great, Dave, and thanks everyone who's actually downloaded the episode. We've had a really, really good response. Fantastic. I know a lot of people have cross-promoted it from the UK one, but what a fantastic start to this podcast. And again, it's been great to watch, Dave. I mean, I didn't think I'd be invested. Sometimes, obviously, with us being from the UK and the US, and obviously we all speak English, it can get lost in translation. But because I'm such a big fan of reality stuff and I've watched so much of it, this is just right up my alley, Dave. And we go into episode 2 and it's just kicking off, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of, obviously we've been going through this last season. You're on, this is your 5th season of Love Island, isn't it? So you're a proper veteran. So if we do have listeners out there who are just joining for the first time, I'm kind of slightly greener, but I have been through this series of the UK. So it's really interesting to compare what we've seen in the UK to what we're getting in the US. And already in episode 2, we're seeing a fair bit of drama here. Now, what do you think, Chris, to Caro? I mean, initially, she didn't pick old Cashel at the start. She got picked by Cashel, but then by the end of episode 1, she's clearly got a bit of a connection with him. And then, she seems pretty feisty, doesn't she? She seems pretty distraught and pretty upset that Kyra's decided to take him on a date there. Yeah,
because obviously they seem really open. I really like the connection between her and Cashel when they both said, you crack on, you crack on. If something happens, it happens. Let's just leave it. And I joked about it in yesterday's episode, but saying that literally lasted a couple of hours. Well, I don't even think it lasted a couple of hours. What she was thinking was obviously not what was coming out of her mouth, because she went full on psycho mode, didn't she? Kyra took him away. They had a kiss. They went on a date, and she's telling everyone in the villa, it's bad. I don't want to even speak to that girl. I don't want to speak to that girl. And it's like, but you're not together. She's had to pick her. It's the name of the game. So I don't see what the problem is. There's plenty of other chaps you can go and have a chat to, Dave, and there's going to be people coming in. So I think, to be fair, you called it very well. Cashel's had a bit of a dodge bullet there, because even though I think she's quite a good-looking girl, I can't be doing with that when someone can be so bitter like that. It's makes someone unattractive. It may just be a knee-jerk reaction, but to me, she got what she deserves, and I think whoever gets with her is going to have the same problem. I think at the moment, she's coming across as high maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, she's not interested at all, and then it's 100 miles an hour. But then, she did sort of put the feelers out there to Michael, didn't she? And, Michael's there smouldering in the corner, just on his own, and she was pretty blatant about, okay, I'm single now, so I'm going to, come across and chat to you. But, I don't think he wasn't uninterested, was he? He seemed to be open to that.
He said, though, didn't he, when they were doing that sort of, it wasn't spin the bottle, it was spin the pineapple, because they couldn't afford a bottle, allegedly. So the question was, who out of the islanders would you want to sleep with the most? And he was sat next to her, and he just pointed straight at Caro, didn't he? He was
yeah.
She sort of went to hold his hand, and I'm thinking, oh, hang on a minute, we're on here. There's going to be a bit of action. But yeah, very bizarre, very interesting. And they did the game as well, didn't they, David? And Cashel, again, I mean, he's proposed to somebody after a couple of weeks.
He's all in himself, isn't he?
Everyone was like, Cashel, he's paid less than $60 for a date with somebody.
That was the Texas guy, wasn't it?
No, it was at Western. That was Western.
Yeah, Western, yep.
Yeah. I'm thinking, well, he took her to McDonald's or he took her to Subway. That's his date.
Mallory wasn't impressed with that.
No, not at all. Not at all. So,
she likes to be wined and dined.
Yeah, and then with Alexandra, who spent the night at Vin Diesel's house, and she got a kiss, didn't she? And then it was Elizabeth. There was something with Elizabeth as well, wasn't there? But they played just a kissing game. Who do you think it is? And they had to go and kiss him. But Caro didn't half put it on Cashel, didn't she? It wasn't just a quick. That was a full on. Just to tell you, I'm here, son. You've missed out on this, and it wasn't his fault that Kyra picked him. That was just the name of the game.
But you can sort of see already, can't you? Cashel's definitely more into Kyra than he was with Caro. So I think he's definitely going to pursue it with her now. And I think, let's see. I think Cashel will be quite keen, I think, that this little spark between Michael and Caro kind of takes off. I think he could end up in an awkward position there. But like I say, a bit surprised with like episode 2 and it's all full on there already.
Well, also, Dave, you're so right. Later on in the episode, we get Zach putting Elizabeth in a Colombian camel clutch or something, a death hold. And he got framed for his kiss because the way he was cupping under her neck, that was like, well, you're having a kiss whether you like it or not. I'm not saying he was being aggressive, but the way it looked on the camera was like, we are all in, and she loved it. And they had a proper snog, didn't he? You could just tell it was going to go in. As soon as he moved in, it was like, all right, ding, ding, this is number 2.
I think if the cameras weren't there.
Yeah, it'd be ding dong, I think, wouldn't it, Dave?
Ding dong. So, I mean, he's done well there because in the game, he's kind of let this dark secret out that, he'd slept with one girl and then gone off to sleep with his ex or something. And Elizabeth had been on the raw end of that before. So I thought that might be a bit of a needle. He's done all right. He's said all the right things. He's saying, yeah, totally immature. He never actually said, was this a last year thing or was this like 5 years ago or something? Well, hopefully not 5 years ago. He's only, 21, 22? But, this was a while ago. So we don't really know that. But he's kind of, I'm not sure I'm totally buying his excuse there. He's just saying what I think she needed to hear. So let's see if that continues to gnaw away, but by the end of the episode, she didn't seem that bothered by it.
No, not at all. I don't believe these little comment though. We just had sex for 2 seconds.
2 seconds. I mean,
that's longer than me that day.
Hey, listen, 2 seconds is better than 1 second. Oh, it takes me back. That does.
It could be like American Pie, though, Dave. Couldn't it? Maybe before you even got anywhere there. Well, it was good for me. Yeah, we'll see you next time.
And I think, to be honest, joking aside, that's what makes me. It doesn't really ring true what he's saying there. You unless you're a very young lad, or the American Pie chap. If you're going to have sex, you have sex. You don't just. Yeah. Obviously he's exaggerating, but even let's say, 2 minutes and then you just stop. It's like, no, this is completely wrong. I just don't fucking buy it.
No, I don't buy it. I think, as I've said many a times, he's talking bullshit from China, Dave. He absolute nonsense he's talking there. I just don't believe it. And will it come out afterwards? Does anyone really care? He's single anyway. He's put it on Elizabeth. Not really. But Dave, we have a new buzzword for us over in the UK watching this.
Yep.
Are you vibing or am I vibing?
This is new to us, isn't it? I mean, this is going to be interesting because, again, for us, the villa has its own, in the UK/Spain, it has its own little vocabulary, doesn't it? We talk about connections, have you got text, all these kind of things. But yeah, vibing, we're totally vibing seems to be the phrase now. Now in the UK, if you say, Elizabeth there is totally vibing, I think the interpretation might be slightly different. It might be more of a battery-powered interpretation.
Well, she'd be looking after animals, Dave, wouldn't she? Rabbits and stuff. But yeah.
Very feisty, rampant ones.
Yeah, really feisty. But yeah, and Dave, I'll tell you what made me laugh though was when Caro was talking to Alana by the pool and they're chatting away and she's saying about the problem she had with Cashel and then she's laying it on the line and then Yamen comes over, doesn't he, and he's swimming and he's looking slick and he comes to talk to him. The pool and the actual villa is a place of beauty. It's an absolute gorgeous pool.
Yeah.
But she then gets a wasp stuck in her hair or a bee, and she's absolutely fucking petrified. Just like,
where's your empathy, man? No, it was pretty funny, to be fair. But I think everyone's like, wow, that's a bit of an overreaction. But I think it's just another little data point, isn't it? That just, she's full on with everything, there's no there's no subtlety to her at all, so Yamen was like, just chill out a bit, it's a fucking bee, it's not a lion. Yeah, I think that did make me laugh, to be fair.
Yeah, Yamen was my hero of the episode, because when Caro was kicking off about Cashel and especially Kyra, and he's going, damn, it's going on. You were boiling hard and all this he was saying. He was just like, he didn't give a shit. He was right next to it. There was no hiding in a corner talking to his mate, whispering like they were doing the UK one. Right in front of him. It's just like, yeah, damn, it's going on. They were boiling off it. And I was pissing myself like, go on, son. Because he was just like, you were fucking not right, girl. I applauded him at that point, because I thought, yeah, go for it. Full appreciation of calling her out there for being pathetic.
Yeah, no, he's done well there. Now, I do have to ask you, though, what's with wearing glasses in bed? What?
I don't know. Well, unless the bifocals makes his cock look bigger, Dave, I don't know. Or maybe she should be wearing them, Alana should be wearing them, not him.
You've thrown me off a bit there. But I don't get it. Like, if you're reading, but I don't see any books or anything. I'm not sure they're even allowed books and stuff in there, are they? So no. It's surely uncomfortable. It's just really thrown me off. I'm just really confused by that. So if anyone knows, why would you wear glasses to bed? Is it because he's completely blind, so he's walking around all day with contacts in and then switches to glasses? I don't know, but just a weird little thing that just I'm puzzled by, to be honest. But I completely agree. I mean, his reaction there, he was making sure, it was known that this is not normal behavior. And I think if you are jumping on board with the US, and you haven't seen this before, it does seem to be that, because you're in this compressed environment, you're all together. You've got no outside family or anything. The people who are in the villa, that's all there is. So time seems to move at a different rate. You're not going off to work and then, maybe having a dinner date in the evening. You're there 24/7. And so, what you see is these different people developing emotions that are just way quicker than you think they ever should. And so it's really interesting.
It is. It's just like I say with the UK one, Dave, the TV-wise, it's fucking really interesting and great TV, isn't it? The more crackers people get, the more angry they get. It just makes it brilliant. Because they're just sat there chatting shit around the pool like, oh, yeah, it's 20 degrees today. It's 25. Yeah. I got sunburnt today. What about you? Yeah. You need that drama, don't you? It makes the TV work. And I fucking revel in it. The more nonsense and pathetic they get, the more I enjoy the TV show.
Yeah, I mean, it is utter trash TV. And if you're a new watcher like me and you hate yourself for it, well, you're in good company, because I think we all generally do. We hate ourselves for watching it, but it is just so good. It's like eating a big chocolate cake. It's not going to help your abs. You're not going to get healthy from it. Just indulge in it a bit and enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy it for what it is, which is just utter nonsense. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And again, another strong episode, Dave. So, if you want to get in contact with the show on Twitter at Love Island Cast, or if you want to email us, which you've had a few emails, and we've actually had a voicemail today as well, but if you want to email us first, it's theloveislandcast@gmail.com. And if you do use Anchor to listen to your podcasts, you can get on there and drop a voicemail to the show. And one of our friends, Ed from Brent Love Isles, who's actually been a guest on the Love Island UK show that we do, he's actually left a voicemail. So we're going to play it for you now, and just his initial thoughts of the USA version that we all love and enjoy. So, Ed, take it away.
All right, lads. Ed here from at Brent's Love Isle. I've been totally sucked into Love Island US. I've only watched the first episode and a half or so, but a few snap judgments. Caro's probably the worst. So insecure. Or I had a blow up on day 2. Completely in denial about all the stuff about, you didn't tell me you were going to go and speak to the guy when the other girl had done. The baby voice was super cringe. And then Cashel and the new girl already seemed like a bit of a power couple. And then the other reflection on it is that just with the US one, it's even more fake than the UK one, like that just American style of like, oh my God, I love you. And then they cut to a scene in the diary room where they're just like, oh God, she's the worst. It's just like classic American. I think I still prefer the like UK one more because I think when you've got people from Glasgow and Liverpool and that, you watch them and you can sort of relate to them and you can be like, oh, I know people that are like that. Whereas the American one, not quite so much.
And Chris, I just want to give a quick shout out as well to Heather Gates. So she was one of the people who'd emailed us in to say, can you please do the Love Island US podcast? And I was a bit apprehensive, just time-wise, but it is only a 4-week show, so really delighted that we've decided to do that. And she's put, in her last email, she put cheers from Amsterdam. So didn't even know we had anyone from the Netherlands listening, so that's absolutely brilliant. So thanks again, Heather.
Great stuff, Dave. Great stuff. Fantastic episode. Please get over there and listen to our back catalogue of Love Island UK. And, any suggestions, any feedback, we do appreciate. If you do enjoy the show, please get on your podcast catcher and drop us a 5-star review. It just helps us grow, and me and Dave love reading them out, and we get real appreciation for all the effort and work we put into this podcast. So, Dave, brilliant as always. Thank you, mate. I'm really enjoying this, and I can't wait for episode 3 to drop. So, I don't need to ask you if you've got anything to lead us out with, Dave. Have you?
No.
Good. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.